Master,
Yeah, please.
Master, I have a doubt. Will you be teaching meditation, chakra meditation for us?
Yeah, we'll be doing that.
Okay, because you told that one of the chakra you should not do it by your own. It will cost
Yeah,
some.
main chakra.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. We should always bypass main chakra. We should not activate it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So let us start our session today. See, basically, last time what we have talked is we have predominantly two bodies. One is the physical body, and the other one is the psychic body or the spiritual body. So we have to make a clear distinction between the physical body and the psychic body. So when we start off our journey of life, so we are mostly focused on our physical body. Means as babies, we might be having lot of spiritual consciousness, but unfortunately, as we grow little older and older, we will start losing our spiritual consciousness. As per certain theories, babies, they remember everything. They know everything about their past life. They know the purpose of their existence here on this earth during this incarnation. They have all the knowledge that is required. But as they start growing old, means till certain time, babies, even if they have all the understanding, they cannot speak, they cannot express. So that is the game of the nature. So babies, till the time they start talking, till the time they start expressing, they have all the memories of their own previous incarnations, or they have the sense of purpose of life, like why they have come into existence, and all the Brahmagyan that we have is available when we are in the form of babies. But as we start growing, as we start learning how to express ourselves, we lose we, we lose our previous birth consciousness. Means all the spiritual knowledge that we had earlier will start slowly forgetting. So maybe even you might be having this kind of experience when you are babies. So I still remember like what I used to think that there is something means which now I cannot express. And when you ask certain babies, they will tell some funny theories about life. You can't even believe what they're talking, but they talk a lot of truth. Casually, my sister asked my son when he was hardly 3, 4 year old. She asked him, "From where did you come?" He gave an explanation which was really mind-boggling. We could not understand what he was talking. He was telling like, okay, that time only he started talking. My sister, my elder sister, she casually asked my son, "From where did you come?" She told, he pointed out at the light in the room and he showed that initially I was there in the light. And then after seeing Papa, I jumped onto his head. And after some time, I traveled in his body and then I went into my mom. That's what he told. He could not talk also, like he was a baby. He could not be taught this kind of funny things. But if you look at the process of birth, as per certain theories, the soul enters the father's body and then from there it actually gets into the mother's womb. So that is what people talk about when they talk about how the birth takes place. So my son, being a 3, 4 year old, he was able to talk. And then we used to feel astonished, like from where he is getting this kind of stories. It is not only my son, but also I've noticed some small kids expressing certain things. So when we look at these things, then we understand that, okay, yeah, these people had some kind of knowledge which we forget. Maybe this is the nature of design, the design of nature. Nature doesn't want us to remember the past things. Nature doesn't want us to understand the entire truth. Because when we have this kind of awareness, we will stop to behave the way we are behaving now. Means it is totally cut off temporarily. This kind of knowledge is temporarily cut off from us. So this is something very amazing. And I still remember when my son was hardly 4, 5 year old, when we went to one city, Chennai, from where his mom's side relatives hailed, he used to actually turn back in the car, and then he used to show one imaginary figure. He's saying that he used to call by name. So see, that guy is coming. He's my friend in a some time back. Now he's coming. He's asking me to come. We turned and we could not find anything. So he used to talk a lot about it. So as a baby, he has got some powers, or I don't even call them as powers. I would say that some kind of capabilities which as adults we lacked. So I used to talk about him. And it so happened that my wife's aunt's husband, he passed away. He was very close to my son when we used to be neighbors and we used to be very close. So the day he passed away, the moment he passed away, my son got up with a jerk and he started crying. He was a 2, 3 year old baby. He started crying. He's saying that grandpa was telling. We could not understand what has happened. Next day morning around 7 o'clock, we got the news that the person, my grandson, grandpa, he passed literally at that moment. So he could actually get the information about his grandpa. He's not our own grandpa, but by relation his grandpa. And then for almost 1, 2 years, he used to narrate. He used to say that Dr. Grandpa is here, he's talking, he's asking me. Like that, he used to tell so many stories. We used to wonder from where he's getting all this information. We could not see, we could not hear, but my son, he was so vivid in terms of actually expressing. He used to actually talk to him, he used to narrate what he was saying. And then my wife, she asked, what is he saying? Once he said, the statement that he made, it's really funny statement. Like, it seems his grandpa told that he's getting bored alone in the sky. So he wanted his grandmother to be also with him, means his wife. So it was really funny. Like, so it so happened that one of our friends who happens to be a pranic healer, a very senior pranic healer, she visited our home. So my wife narrated the incident to her, saying that, okay, this boy is always talking about the deceased grandpa. Then my friend, the pranic healer, she told, no, it is not good. See, once the soul departs the body, it has to move away from the set plane, and they're not supposed to interact with human beings, but somehow the children, they're interacting. So it is not good for the soul, the departed soul, to be there. So she made us to do a small prayer about liberating his spirit from this earth zone. And believe me, next day onwards, he never spoke about the person. Now, if I tell all these incidents to my son, he laughs and says that, are you kidding? Are you joking? Are you trying to make fun of me? I don't remember any of these things. So what is happening? What is happening is, when my son was in the form of a baby, he had far more advanced senses than what we have now, or what he has now as an adult. So what is happening is, the powers that we had were slowly withdrawn once we start expressing to the world about what lies on the other side of life. So the natural faculties which were existing earlier in the form of a baby is withdrawn. Now he doesn't remember anything. He doesn't get any communication from the deceased relatives. So it all shows that we all have certain some potential for actually perceiving extra dimensional things. So only thing is that we need to actually get back the sensitivity. So earlier, as a infant or as a baby, my son had some kind of consciousness. It is what is known as the spiritual consciousness. That spiritual consciousness slowly started withdrawing as he started growing. Same thing has happened even to us. The spiritual consciousness is gradually withdrawn. And now we are predominantly identifying ourselves with the body. So body is equal to me is equal to body. But in reality, that is not the truth. Body is only one stealth, one dimension of our existence. But because of our close association with it for day and night, for years together, we started losing our identity as a spiritual entity, and we are mostly identified with our body. Even now, most of us, we identify ourselves with our own body and nothing else. So that is where we are limiting our own senses to the limitations of human body sensory organs. So though we are capable of actually perceiving things at a very larger scale because of our reduced, condensed spiritual powers, we are only confining to our limited senses, which are given by these five senses. Now, how to get back our real senses, our psychic powers, how to get back? What are the ways we can use in order to invoke these dormant hidden potential? So just imagine if you can see whatever we want to see, either it is past, either it is future, or either it is this moment at some part of the world or at some part of the universe. Just imagine how much empowered you will be. Most of the problems in our life are only because of lack of knowledge. We don't know what is happening. We are incapacitated by our inability to pursue the truth. For example, let us imagine a situation. Let us assume that one of your close relatives is traveling by air, and then suddenly you got an information saying that the aircraft in which your person is traveling has met with an accident, and in that accident, around 50% of people have died. So this information is a partial information. It doesn't talk about your relative. So what kind of panic you will undergo? Because the information is impartial. You don't know what exactly it is. You're not sure whether the person is alive or the person has died. So that gives you lot of stress because there is lack of information. But if the information is complete, either saying that, okay, the person is dead or the person is alive, either way, you're actually at a place where you're a little stable, because the moment you say that, okay, the person is already died, you'll start reconciling to the fact, and then you'll act in that particular appropriate direction. There is no uncertainty. On the other hand, if you come to know that, okay, the person is alive, and you'll be happy. So what really causes pain in life is uncertainty. Uncertainty is caused by lack of information. You're not having proper information. Your proper senses are not giving you all the senses. So to get the proper information, what you have to do, you have to call up the airport authorities or some helpline, and then you have to undergo a lot of panic in terms of tracing out the person and then ensure that, okay, the person's details are given. This is what I mean to be saying uncertainty. So whether you're going to get loan or not, you're not certain. You're in lot of stress. You're not sure whether you're going to get a job or not. You're under stress. Like that, you have so much of uncertainty in life pertaining to your future or the current moment, and that gives you a lot of stress. But if you are spiritually empowered, you will be able to access this kind of information seamlessly, means without struggling, without much hardship. You will be able to just access the information, and then with that information you can actually act. So information is not just for the sake of only knowing, it is for the sake of actually controlling it. So if you come to know that, okay, the person who is traveling in air has survived, but he's not traceable, he's not been traced, but he's alive. You have this information saying that, okay, the person has not yet died, but he is somewhere, he is not yet traced. Then, if you can act on this information, this act of acting itself is controlling the situation or changing the situation or the state of existence to your advantage. So, if the person is actually lost in some kind of desert or some kind of forest, and if you can actually understand that, okay, the person needs your help, then you can actually telepathically communicate this message to people on ground who are at the rescue work, and that person will start getting the information saying that, okay, maybe this person might be in this direction, and he will start walking in this direction because you have already got the information, you have transmitted the information, and by sending this person, you are actually controlling the information that you have acquired. So this is the advantage of having supernatural powers or extrasensory perceptions. So these things are quite possible. They are not based on our belief system. They're not based on our superstition. They are based purely on science. What is science? Science is nothing but nature's reality. Description of nature, understanding of nature is what is known as science and nothing else, right? So the domain of extrasensory perceptions or supernatural powers are not based on your dogmatic thinking or your religious beliefs or your XYZ belief system. Instead, they are based on the solid principles of science, which quantum physics is preaching. So we should understand that these powers that we are talking about are not magical powers. They are only powers which are based on our firm understanding of the nature of reality or the truth of nature. So what are these basically these powers based on? So you're able to transmit your thoughts from one person to another person. What is it based on? Is it based on your belief system or is it based on something else? It is based on something else. And what is that something else? Something else is that we are living in a pool of electromagnetic waves. We are living in an ocean of gigantic ocean of electromagnetic waves, which are actually flowing all through us and through us. We are sitting here, but as such, whereas there are so many electromagnetic waves, currents of electromagnetism passing through us without causing any kind of inference or any kind of disturbance to us. They're not creating noise. They're not creating any kind of pressures or pulsations. They're actually carrying streams of information. So in order to tap the information that is being transmitted on these electromagnetic radiations, you have developed a technological gadgets like your mobile phone or your TV antenna, which are actually capturing these things and they're actually decoding the information and making it human audible. That is how the intelligence is getting communicated from one place to the other. So this is a way, one stream of human society which actually banks upon science developed as technology. Another stream of society which actually believed in the inner sciences, they started developing a different technology. We might not call it as technology, it could be some kind of methods, spiritual methods. So one thing you need to understand is our human body is an extraordinary composition of, or rather a complex system of multiple systems. So within our body, we have so many systems. If you are able to walk, if you are able to run, if you are able to do certain activities, it is because there is a mechanical system in your body. There is a mechanical structure, a mechanical system. If you're able to look at things, if you're able to hear, if you're able to do something, it is because there is an electrical system within your body which is actually conducting the electrical impulses that is getting perceived by the organs, your organs, sending it into the body, into the brain, and processing that information. If you look at the raw information that you are getting from the sensory organs, right? It is nothing but electrical impulses or chemical impulses, not the pictures, not the sounds. We might be hearing song and we might be thinking that we are hearing a sound, a song. But in reality, if you dissect it, it is nothing but electrical impulses, a series of electrical impulses. So the body is actually processing all this information. Similarly, we have a chemical system where our body itself is a big chemical factory where different organs or where the various glands, they are separating different complex chemicals with which our body is functioning. In order to digest our food, we need so many chemicals. So many chemicals are working. It's like one factory producing certain set of chemicals during certain period of time. So lunchtime, your body start producing chemicals which are useful for digesting your food. Like that, the body is an automated system, a complex system of systems, which is actually creating so many multiple tasks. Even we are sleeping, even if you are actually relaxing, our internal metabolism or our internal systems, they are not at rest. Like that, if you keep counting, there are so many systems. And if you look at the amount of electricity that is getting generated in our human body, this electricity is enough to power up one middle-sized town for 1 week. You can power up the entire city or a mid-sized town for 1 week. So that is the amount of electricity that we are generating. Similarly, we are also generating a lot of electromagnetic radiations. So our body itself is an electromagnetic radiator, electromagnetic transmitter. So what is the biggest electromagnetic generator in our human body? Our entire human body is generating electromagnetic waves. Continuously they are generating, and every part is also generating some kind of electromagnetic waves. And if you look at our body, our heart is the biggest generator of electromagnetic radiations. Even now, while I'm talking, my heart is generating so much of electromagnetism into this, transmitting into this nature. So it can be felt at certain distance. People can measure my electromagnetism that is generated by my heart at a distance. Not only mine, everybody's. We can generate. Just the way we are generating electromagnetic waves, just the way we are transmitting our electromagnetic waves into the nature, we are also receiving the same thing from the environment. Got the point? So, if you are familiar with tuning of TV channels or radio channels, we understand we have to tune our system to map with a particular frequency that is emitted by a particular transmitting station, right? Particular transmission station. So for example, if a station is actually transmitting its signals at 98.5, so the moment we tune the radio to match with that particular frequency, the information will start flowing. Means we can start hearing the sounds, we can start seeing the television signals, something, all these things that are being done, it is coming because your gadget is tuned to that particular frequency. Similarly, our body should also be tuned to certain frequencies in order to capture the information. Like for example, you are thinking at a particular frequency, and there is another person who is also thinking at the exact frequency, and he is actually projected towards you. He's thinking about you, and then he is actually thinking at a wavelength which is almost similar to that of your frequency. Then immediately what will happen? You'll also start thinking about the person, thinking that, yeah, my childhood friend, I wonder what he's doing. Like that, you keep the talking. And whatever he is thinking, you'll also start thinking on similar lines. For example, if he's thinking about, okay, his child education, once you're tuned, and then he started thinking about his son's marriage, even you'll start getting frequencies of those things like, okay, what could his son be doing? Is he married? Something, some thoughts which are relating to these things are coming because he is actually projecting a thought, a stream of thoughts at a particular frequency, and it is actually broadcasting, and you are actually in a position where you are actually absorbing these signals. See, today, if you look at the world, we are bombarded with so many signals, whether we like it or not. We are sitting in a pool of electromagnetic ocean, and there are many things which are coming, but we are also generating a lot of signals. So most of the thoughts, they are deflected because your thoughts and those thoughts are deflected, and maybe you are actually coming across only few thoughts. But if the thought frequency is similar to that of your frequency, you will start getting it. So this is the principle on which telepathy works. Telepathy is not a fantasy. Telepathy is not just some person's gimmick. It is not like that. It is very much possible for us to activate our telepathic capabilities. So last session, I told you two things, like we have a spiritual cord which is connecting the center of our head, which is passing through our body and which is extend to the spiritual dimension. This is not visible to us, but for people who knows how to scan the energies, like how we do it in pranic healing, we can actually scan the spiritual cord. So each person has got a specific type, each person will have a spiritual cord, and the size of the spiritual cord depends on the spiritual evolution of that person. For highly spiritually evolved persons, the size would be very big. But in case of poorly developed people, it will be in the form of a hair strand, sometimes broken or blocked. In that case, the person is totally gone. But for people who have a lot of big spiritual cord, the amount of information that is actually getting downloaded or uploaded from and through spiritual cord is very, very fast, just the way we have a bandwidth for internet connectivity. So when we use high bandwidth, broadband, what is happening? A lot of information is coming very fast, but when we are using a very thin broadband, the pace at which we are getting is also coming down. This is one thing. Second thing is the noise of our own thoughts. They create a lot of disturbance so that we don't hear the spiritual talk or spiritual instructions that we are getting from our guardian angels or from higher realms or from our distant relatives who are no more. So the best way is, if you want to develop telepathic capability, what you need to do is, first and foremost thing is, silence your thoughts. Minimize your thoughts. So to minimize your thoughts, what you need to do? In order to minimize your thoughts, you need to actually go into a secluded place where people are not talking, where there are no TVs, where there are no mobiles. Keep off everything. Retreat into your shell, into a very secluded place, a lonely place. Then rest yourself properly, in the sense your body should not be undergoing any kind of strain. It should not be undergoing any kind of stress, no mechanical stress. Means if you're sitting in a very uncomfortable position, your focus is on that particular pain point. So don't let your body have any kind of mechanical stress or any kind of tension in any part of the body, because the focus is about shifting your consciousness from your physical dimension to your psychic dimension. What we need to do, we need to shift our focus from our physical dimension to psychic dimension. So now you're comfortable, you're in a very nice, cool, calm place where there is no interaction, no distraction, and you're all alone to yourself. Take few minutes to relax yourself absolutely, without any hindrance. No noises, no knocks on the door, no buzz of mobile phone, nothing, no distraction, no deviation. Sit, close your eyes and listen to the music of nature. For some time, don't do anything, just relax and just keep focusing on your natural sounds. You could be hearing the birds, the creeps of birds. You can actually hear some natural sounds like air, water, these kind of things. The natural sounds, let natural sounds be there. Close your eyes and just focus on your own self. Don't indulge in any kind of mental dialogue. Just don't be eager to learn something. Don't be eager to experience something. Relax, absolutely. Just relax, nothing else. While you're relaxing, just pay attention to what you are hearing. Anyhow, you have closed your eyes. Since you have closed your eyes, your visual inputs are cut down. With that, 70% of the distraction is gone. And then you are actually putting your attention on your ears. So let the music of nature entertain you for some time. Enjoy that. And then as you are actually moving, you will be stepping down into a state of thoughtlessness. You are aware of yourself. There is some kind of form, there is some kind of pleasant feeling where there is no excess light, there is no pressure, there is no temperature difference. You are cool, calm, in a stable state. That is the first and foremost state that you need to practice every day. That is a state where your thoughts are minimized or totally subdued. So once you reach this kind of thoughtless state, then your intuition, or rather the messages that you are actually receiving, either from the spiritual dimension or the messages that somebody living now projecting on you, are getting perceived. For example, let us assume that, okay, you and me become partner in clairvoyance practice. So it is always advisable to have a partner when you want to practice your clairvoyance. So the natural partners would be someone with whom you share a very good relationship. Of course, we are close to our spouses, but most of the time we are projected in opposite directions. So there is a lot of conflict, and there is mental conflict. There is some kind of resentment between couple in active phase of life. It doesn't happen in the passive phase of life. Means when the couple grow old, retired, then they don't have much of conflict compared to that they had when they were in active phase of life. In active phase of life, there are so many conflicts that arise between wife and husband. So they might not be very good partners for this kind of clairvoyance practice. But people who are in love, people who are about to get married, or people who are recently married, they don't have that much of conflict compared to people who are married for some time. Even those people can be good partners. So pick up any person in your life, in your family, who is very nice to you, who sympathizes, empathizes with you, and then who actually understands whenever there is some kind of dialogue going between you and the person. If you are actually asking the person, please wait, let me tell, please wait, let me tell, and the person is also saying, no, let me talk, let me complete my thing. When you're actually having this kind of situation, you can never exchange your thoughts, because you're always eager to pour your thoughts, ideas into other person's mind and to make him listen to you. The other person is also having that kind of conflicting situation. But when people are in fresh love, means they are always eager to impress the other person. So whatever the other person is talking, they are in a receptive mode and say, yeah. Same is the case with old couple. So this might not be the case with good friends. So if you have a good friend with whom you can exchange your ideas without any kind of confrontation, with lot of ease, then they would be your natural partners for clairvoyance practice. So initially you have to start your clairvoyance practice with people who are in natural sync with you. Let us assume that you are vibrating at this vibrational frequency, and there is another person who is vibrating at this pace. Your partner is vibrating like this, and you are vibrating like this. Can you find any sync? There is a lot of non-sync. And this non-sync is something which causes noise. So a thought has to transfer from this person to this person. This person is vibrating at this weight, and this person is vibrating at this weight. So there is always misfire, right? So same is the case opposite. You are vibrating at a certain level and the other person is vibrating at another level. You want to throw a thought, it just get lost in space because the person is not in a position to vibrate. But if you are actually having a resonance, when you're actually moving together in tandem in perfect harmony, that is when the thought transference can easily happen. So, in order to practice clairvoyance, the first and foremost requirement is that you should try to bring down your thoughts to the lowest level. As I told you or keep telling you several times, human mind is very restless. It can be compared to that of a monkey which is drunk, very restless, jumping here and there, moving there, causing a lot of noise. Normally, human mind is like that. It is full of chaos, one thought of the other, one thought of the other, one thing. Like that is just like a restless thing. But if you can bring it down to a very stable level, natural level of peace and rest, then it is in a state where it can absorb the thoughts that are coming from outer world or from your inner world. So first discipline your mind in order to become a clairvoyant or to become what you call telepathic person. So there is difference between telepathy and clairvoyance. Clairvoyance means it is actually seeing things at a distance, means on space-time axis. Telepathy is transference of thoughts, means it is between two people. So in case of clairvoyance, there is no other person involved, only you are actually looking at things and then you are trying to get the information. But in telepathy, you are actually exchanging the ideas. Either you are throwing an idea or either you are catching an idea. So for that, you need two people resonating at the same frequency. So first thing is try to silence yourself. And second thing is try to pick up a person who is willing to practice telepathy with you. So you might not be lucky enough to have a person readily available for your telepathic practice, but you can actually identify an appropriate person and then you can put your focus on the person. You can have some kind of schedule saying that, okay, you came across a person who is exactly like you in terms of thinking, in terms of your vibrational frequency, then you can actually make an arrangement saying that, okay, bro, every day morning 7 o'clock to 7:30, we will practice telepathy. You can make such kind of arrangement and then you can actually start, okay, you can have some kind of system wherein from 7 to 7:10, you will transmit the information and you will have to record the impressions. And from 7:10 to 7:20, he will transmit the information to you. You receive the information and you make it down. And then last 10 minutes, you can exchange what you have understood from him and what you have given him. So you can actually start a game. It's a game where you can have a lot of fun. You can discuss, rather you can start with simple exchange of colors, numbers, then slowly thoughts. Like that, if you keep practicing over a period of time, you tend to develop so strong communication, non-contact, non-verbal communication, so that you can actually think about the person and then throw the thought, and then the person will be able to perceive. So once you start practicing regularly, there will be a point where you don't have to do it consciously. So just close your eyes and think about the person, and you'll be able to feel the thoughts that he is currently indulging in. Similarly, that person also can just hold on, and then he can draw the stream of information that you're currently thinking about. So that is a perfect telepathic mechanism. This is possible for all human beings. Only thing is that perseverance, patience, and practice. You need to practice it. So we might not need to have this kind of telepathic relationship with all the people that we come across in life, but with some close people, with our children, we can develop this telepathy relationship. So no matter where they travel, whether they go to China or US or UK on education, you don't have to worry. You are always connected. You can always transfer your thoughts. You can always transfer your feelings and then feel as if you are together. You don't have to worry about the safety of your kids who are living away from you if you have that kind of telepathic thing. So when we talk about telepathy, it is not only the thoughts that we transfer, but also the feelings that the other person is emitting. So telepathy is not just about thoughts, it is also about feelings. Certain times you don't understand why. Suddenly you will be engulfed with a different kind of feeling. So suddenly you'll start feeling sick, not physically, but you might be thinking, what is happening? You will be filled with some kind of anxiety, some kind of depression. There is no reason for you to feel all these things, but suddenly you'll be getting that kind of thing, that kind of heavy feeling. Why? It is because there is another person who is entangled with you telepathically. So he's not just transmitting his thoughts, he might not even be transmitting his thoughts, but he is actually transmitting his feelings. Thoughts and feelings, they're interconnected. They have some kind of connection, and there might be chance that you get certain thoughts, and these thoughts can invoke certain feelings. It is also possible that you have some feelings, and these feelings can give rise to certain thoughts. So like that, so it might be of a common experience to you, like you might have felt certain times that something is wrong. You might be feeling little anxious, depressed, and later you discover that one of your close person, yeah, who is it? ఎవరండి బాబు గారు రండి బాబు గారు నేను ఆన్లైన్ క్లాస్లో ఉన్నా కూర్చోండి
పని చేయట్లేదా
మీది ఛార్జింగ్ పెట్టాలి అయిపోయింది
పెట్టాలా
పెట్టాలి నేను ఈ ప్రస్తుతానికి ఇది వాడి మేనేజ్ చేస్తున్నాను వెంటనే
అది మరి దాని అవసరం ఉంటుందా
మీరు తీసుకెళ్ళిపోవచ్చు
ఇప్పుడు
తీసుకెళ్ళండి ఓకే యా సో యు ఆర్ ఎనర్జెటికల్లీ connected to the person. So not only thoughts that you're transferring, but also the feelings. So by practicing telepathy, you have empowered yourself in the sense you can actually take care of your own family members whenever they are in some kind of situation where they cannot directly communicate to you. So this is one thing. So would you like to practice this for a while?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if
Yes.
if you want to practice this, close your eyes. Let go of all tension from your body. There should not be any kind of tension, muscular tension, either in the neck or in the cuff or anywhere. You should be perfectly relaxed. Close your eyes. Deeply inhale and exhale. Deeply inhale and exhale. Like that, take heavy breaths. Take deep inhalation and deep exhalation. So this process of breathing heavily, inhalation and exhalation, is going to let go of all kind of tension in your body. Usually we have some kind of tension in certain parts of the body. We are little tight in certain parts. When you're actually having that kind of tension, your attention is actually on that one. So let it go off. Close your eyes. Inhale deeply. Exhale deeply. Inhale deeply. And exhale deeply. Inhale and exhale. As you are inhaling and exhaling, you are focused on your breath. You are focusing on your breath. Inhale deeply and exhale deeply. Inhale deeply and exhale deeply. Inhale deeply and exhale deeply. As you are inhaling and exhaling, your entire consciousness is moving towards your breathing process. As you are inhaling and exhaling, the entire concentration or awareness is moving towards your breathing process. All the thoughts you are having or continue or slowly subduing. All the thoughts that you are having or slowing down. As I count 1 to 10, your mind is moving towards stillness. As I count 1 to 10, your mind is moving towards stillness. As I count 1 to 10, your mind is moving towards complete stillness. Stillness. Your mind is becoming still. Your mind is becoming still and calm. 1. Your mind is becoming calm. Your mind is becoming very calm. Your mind is becoming relaxed. Your mind is becoming relaxed. 2. Your mind has become completely relaxed. Your mind has become completely relaxed. Your mind is becoming completely relaxed. Relax, 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 relax. 3. Your mind is becoming completely relaxed, relaxed, and relaxed. 5. Your mind has further relaxed. Your mind has further relaxed. Your mind is able to listen only to my instruction. Your mind is in a complete state of stillness. 6, 6, 6. Your mind is completely relaxed. Your mind is completely relaxed. Your mind is completely relaxed. 7. Now you have reached a deep state of consciousness and you are completely focused only on my instructions. You are completely relaxed. You are completely relaxed. You are in a deep state of relaxation. 8. Relax completely, and relax. You are completely relaxed. You are completely relaxed. You are completely relaxed. You are completely relaxed. You are relaxed completely. All the thoughts in your mind have vanished. You're only focused on my instructions. You're completely relaxed. You are completely relaxed. Relax further. Relax, relax, relax. 9. Now we have reached the bottommost layer of your relaxation. You're completely relaxed. You are completely relaxed. And now 10. Now we have relaxed completely. Be in the state of relaxation for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, I'm going to give some instructions and you are going to follow my instructions. For 2 minutes, you will enjoy this absolute stillness. Now, think about a person who is very important to you in life. It could be your husband, it could be your wife, it could be your son, it could be your daughter, it could be your father, or it could be mother, or a colleague who is of great importance to you this moment. Recall the face of the person. Feel as if the person is standing right in front of you. The person of your concern this moment is standing right in front of you. Now focus your attention on that person. Without asking any questions, try to absorb the impressions that you are getting about this person. Be in a passive mode. Don't ask questions. don't try to inquire. Just try to absorb the information. The information can be in the form of thoughts, or it could be in the form of feelings. The person standing opposite to you is transmitting his thoughts and feelings, and you are silently observing, passively accepting this information without any kind of validation or without any kind of inquiry. You're just absorbing. Don't try to ask any questions. Just feel it. Keep absorbing the impressions that you're getting till the time I ask you to come out of this. Now consolidate all your impressions that you have gathered from this person. Consolidate and try to remember and retain each of the impressions that you have received. You could have received certain thoughts, and you could have received certain feelings pertaining to these thoughts. Okay, now switch your focus to another person, a different person who might be of relevance to you, and try to focus on them. Spend 5 minutes in terms of absorbing. Don't try to validate, don't try to put logic, don't try to actually cushion. Just focus on the face of the person and then just absorb all the feelings that you are getting from the person. It could be thoughts, it could be ideas, it could be feelings. For the next 5 minutes, focus on the other person, a second person. Now consolidate all the impressions that you have received from this person. Consolidate, retain, and remember the impressions that you have received from this person during this period of observation. Okay. Now gently come back to your normal state, open your eyes. Come back, open your eyes. So I hope everyone has practiced this one. Did you? Yeah. Anybody
Yes,
wants
sir.
to share your experience? One by one, you can share your experience, what you have received, whom you have seen.
Sir, initially, is it only one person that we need to concentrate, or we can have
No,
multiple
one person,
people?
one person.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Does anybody wants to share an experience so that people can understand the process?
Master,
Sir?
halfway through, I slept, Master, lightly.
Okay.
In between, the cautious came and I visualized
Okay.
the person in front of me, and later I slept.
in a drowsy mood.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, please.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste, Rituji. Yeah.
Yeah, I was getting all goosebumps on my body,
Okay. Okay.
and I was completely connected to the person, but I was getting all the goosebumps on my body of my right side, sir.
Okay. So basically, it shows that you're a person very sensitive to clear sentiments, feelings.
Okay.
I told you, like the inputs can come in the form of visual images. It could be some kind of audio clips. Like people have different faculties activated more than other things. Like, so you're a
Okay.
person having more of clear sentiments. Like you can get impressions, feelings very fast, other than visuals and sounds.
Yes, sir. I get very fast feelings.
Okay, yeah. So when you got goosebumps, what does it mean? Like, who is the person whom you have actually visualized?
My son, sir, my elder son.
Okay,
So I got the goosebumps, and I was really happy.
okay, okay. So what thoughts? What are the predominant thoughts that you have got when you're actually focusing? You might have captured some part of his thoughts, thought waves. Did you get any thoughts? Anything?
No, sir, I was blank. I was just thinking of him. I didn't think anything. I didn't
Okay.
thought anything, but I was just connecting him with me,
Okay.
and that's it, sir.
Okay.
I got the goosebumps, and I was getting the white light. When I was thinking in my meditation, I was getting the white light, this thing,
Okay.
sir, energies.
Okay. Okay. So about the second person, did you think about the second person?
The second person only, sir. The
Okay.
first person I thought was my husband.
Okay.
I felt he's really very grounded person.
Okay. Okay. You got only the feelings, not the thoughts.
The
So
thoughts
even-
were there, sir, but the thoughts are very ups and downs. In
Okay.
that thoughts also, he's very grounded.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So basically, whenever you are actually focusing on a person, at this point of time, like he would be actually thinking something or the other. So
Okay,
mostly he might be having some tension, some worries, or some good things to celebrate. Like that, he has got different things depending on the situation. So he'll be having some kind of thoughts. So you'll be able to capture those thoughts when you're actually in a very passive mode. Here
Okay,
he is
sir.
in a very active mode. He's actually unconsciously doesn't know that you're actually trying to capture his thoughts. So he's doing natural thinking.
Okay,
But
sir.
you got into the passive position and you're trying to understand, assess what he is. So some of the
Yes.
thoughts have come into your vicinity, into your consciousness. So that could be his thoughts, not your thoughts.
Yes, sir, exactly.
Yeah, you might have felt what he's feeling now, whether he's feeling good, bad, low, down, up, like that you might have felt.
No, sir, very moderate,
Yeah, that's
grounded.
what, whatever he is, you got his assessment like.
Yes, sir, yes.
Yeah. So if you keep practicing this one, so he will have to run away from you because you'll be reading all his thoughts.
Yeah.
So he can't hide anything from you. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Anybody else? No, whatever feelings you have got, whether you got it or not, if you can say, I can actually throw some light on it.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yeah,
please.
sir. I visualized my son, sir.
Mhm.
Actually, I got a cloudy white energy, rounded form
Mhm.
between me and my son.
Okay.
I visualized that thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old is he?
He is doing +2 now.
Okay.
Today he went for exam. I
Okay.
thought he is doing good exam
Okay,
in that
okay.
field I had.
Okay. So how do you see that white cloudy?
Yeah, round, cloudy, white energy form in front
Okay.
of him, around. Yeah, that
Okay.
I felt.
Is it something which is connecting you or separating you from yourself?
It is connecting me, yeah, between
Mm.
me and my son, energy
Okay.
form, round,
Okay. Okay.
that I felt.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. Any
This
other?
thing.
Any other person?
Any
Right.
other, he's not so happy. He's normal.
Yeah.
Today exam, no, so he's normal. That kind of feel I had.
Yeah. That is very important. Like you understood how he has written. Means
Yeah.
he's
He is
not-
good. Yeah.
Yeah. Not very
Yeah.
excited.
Model
or-
exam. Yeah.
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 You could actually catch his feelings as such.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
please. Next one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
I couldn't do, like, I didn't know what has happened, but
Mhm.
your voice was so soothing that I felt into dreams or something. And again, in between your voice, I was just coming back and doing, but like, I don't know what's happening, but some thoughts are coming, but I couldn't recollect or remember them.
Okay.
But
Okay.
some state where I don't know. I feel that I was not here,
Okay.
definitely, but
Okay.
somewhere else I don't know. But I've been like, I tried to connect to 2-3 people. Maybe because of that I was not able to
Okay.
connect anyone.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Next time. what
That's
we
the
can
reason I
do-
asked how
Yeah.
many should I actually.
Yeah. See, basically, what happens is if you're trying to get connected to 2, 3 people, you'll not be
Sir.
actually able to distinguish from whom you're getting this signal. So one person might be feeling very low and sad. Another person might be very excited. So you'll feel
Okay.
both sadness and happiness simultaneously.
So we
So
will not know whom is
yeah, who
having
is
the
happy
problem.
or not. So
Okay.
here the purpose of this exercise is to receive the impressions
Okay.
from a person. So just
Okay.
now,
As ma'am said that she
ma'am
has
said
received that.
she exercised the feeling of her son after writing the examination.
Yeah.
So even if he doesn't tell, she understands what it is about.
But it is not necessary that the other person should be knowing about this. They should be knowing telepathy or not. It's
No.
not
They
necessary.
don't see. Basically, every person is like a moving transmitter,
Okay.
mobile transmitter. We are just transmitting our thoughts continuously, whether we like it or not. We are transmitting our thoughts and feelings into the environment. Rather, it is like broadcasting.
Okay.
So if any person is in a receptive state, he can immediately catch the impressions. If he is sensitive, he can easily capture the impressions. Like for example, you might have come across some holy men who are very receptive. The moment you go into
Okay.
their vicinity, they absorb all your impressions, whether you're happy or sad or whatever it is, and they will be able to tell you those
Oh.
things.
So like we can send our emotions and feelings and these things our devotion to the gurus or the
Definitely, yes.
Almighty or something. We can
Yes,
send
yes,
it just directly.
yes.
It is not necessary that they should be learning this or something like that.
It is not required.
Okay,
It is
okay,
not
okay.
required. Only thing is that if you
Okay.
practice together, you develop similar sensitivities, and then you will be able to spontaneously exchange. Here, no, we are actually
Okay.
depending on some kind of randomness. We don't know whether it is going to work or not. But if you practice,
Whether it's right or wrong.
yes. So you
Yeah,
can
okay.
actually validate with that person. Once you start getting positive results, you become more and more confident. Once you develop more confident, your ability to transmit and receive is going to be superb. Because anytime
Okay.
negative thought, doubt, disbelief is something which is going to block any
Okay.
exchange of information or feelings.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
You can practice it. Means this is a
1%.
very simple technique. You don't have to depend on anybody. Get into the receptive state, focus on one person and get their impressions. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, anybody else, please? Jyoti ji, you are very quiet. Hello. Yeah, anybody else, please? Okay. So,
Sir.
yeah, please. Kritika
I
ji,
could
yeah.
say, yes, sir. I could say, I'm Pratibha, sir. It's my daughter's name, Kritika.
Okay, okay.
To
Hi,
her,
Pratibha ji. Yeah, okay.
I could see my husband's face. He was smiling at me. He
Okay.
was feeling no tensions, be calm like that. He was settling me down.
Okay.
I was so tense like that. I got the feeling, sir.
Tensed?
He was telling to me to be cool. Don't take any tensions. Just be calm. He was smiling like
Okay.
that.
Okay, okay. So that is his basic concern for you. Like he must have seen you undergoing some kind of stress. So he's trying
Maybe,
to
sir.
assure you.
Like that, sir.
Okay, that's great. So you have received a message, very good message from your husband.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other impression?
Yes, sir. Second time I saw my daughter, elder daughter, sir.
Okay.
I saw something, she was very tensed about her work, stressful about her work. I was feeling like that.
Okay, okay.
Well, next, she was thinking what to do, some type of tensions, work tensions.
So maybe you can actually validate your experience by talking to her whenever you are free. Just try to ask her problem. Maybe she's not ready to tell you. So
Yes, sir. She doesn't tell.
Yes, try to get information saying that what you can do like that. You can engage her, and maybe you'll get the answers.
Okay, sir. Thank
Okay.
you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Anybody else, please?
Sir, I saw my daughter, sir,
Okay.
as first person.
Mhm.
Just I visualized her in front of me,
Mhm.
but I couldn't get any feeling out of it.
Okay.
And next I realized one of my friend,
Mhm.
and in between I got some other disturbance, and I felt I'm going deep into a state of some drowsiness or sleep. I don't know.
Okay.
That's what I felt. Nothing significantly I read from their face.
Okay. So sometimes it would happen that children, they don't want to reveal themselves to their parents. They always think that they should not reveal their things to them. So that is how they actually mask themselves. And that is reason sometimes you might not get any impressions from people like your kids, because they are fear parents. They don't want to reveal what is happening in their life. So that could be one reason why you could not get any impressions from your daughter.
Okay, sir.
Yes. The second person,
Yes, sir.
what kind of impressions you have
One
got?
of my friend.
Okay.
Then in between I got some other face, sir. I couldn't
Focus.
realize that.
Okay. 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 Anyhow, means since the technique is a very simple technique, you can practice just for 15 minutes a day. Every day, make it a point that you have a telepathic session for 15 minutes whenever you're free. Just try to
Okay.
focus. The more you practice, the better the results would be.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else, please? Okay. So we'll discuss another technique now. So this technique is a similar technique. This technique is also based on the principle of clairsentience, means feelings, the gut feelings that you get. Okay. So when you go to a new place, suddenly you'll get some kind of impressions, some positive feelings or some negative feelings. That is what is known as the sentience, the feelings. So this is one of the predominant psychic faculty that people can develop, because most of the people, we have those things. When we meet some people, sometimes we feel very good, sometimes we feel very uneasy, though they will not open their mouth. So this thing also we can actually observe. So what we can do is, if you want to actually receive information about your own people, what you can do is, you can take one of their personal belonging. Means it could be a watch, it could be a ring, it could be a locket, it could be something which they continuously wear. For example, your son, you want to understand his feelings, his impressions. So earlier we practiced a clairvoyance technique where we visualized him in a deep state of relaxation. Now what we can do is we can pick up their most commonly used item and then hold it in your hand, close your eyes, and then start observing the kind of feelings and the kind of associated thoughts that you are getting. That's how you can actually get. Because when a person continuously wears some object, not all objects, only those objects which are capable of absorbing the impressions. Those impressions are retained, and whenever the person is actually thinking or feeling, those impressions, the vibrations, they are actually transferred into the object that they use on day-to-day basis. So by holding the objects and by becoming conscious of their feelings, here what we are going to use, we are not going to use our eyes, or we are not going to use our imagination. We are only using the power of touch. We are touching. When we are touching, we are actually absorbing, or rather since touching the vibrational frequency, means the predominant vibrations. So for example, if you are a person, if you are the person about whom you are going to inquire has been undergoing some kind of pain in some part of the body for the past few months or few weeks. So those impressions we can actually absorb. Not only the physical pain, but also the emotional issues. The emotional issues means not only the painful issues, but also all positive issues. Like you can actually sense how they are feeling. And if you are more sensitive, you'll be able to uncover even the thought that is underlying this particular feeling. So now what I suggested you is, since you're all at home with your families, you pick up any personal object of your person about whom you want to inquire. You want to inquire about your husband, take his wristwatch or take his wallet or anything which you can take from him. If you can take his finger ring with his permission, also fine. Whatever you take it and hold it in your hand, and then be with an open mind and be focused on the object of inquiry and also the owner of that object. Spend some time on it. Spend at least 10 minutes. Initially, you'll be getting your own thoughts, which you believe that are the thoughts of and the feelings of the other person. Because you're always in an active mode now, because you have not yet been trained to get into passive mode. So initially you'll get some impression, ignore them. First 5 minutes, ignore, and then focus on the next 5 minutes, the next thoughts, the next feelings that you're going to get. Focus on those things. Okay, shall we start now? Hello?
Yes, Master. Yes.
Yeah, I'll give
Yes,
you, I'll give you 5 minutes so that you can actually go get the object of your interest from your family member, and then we'll start. Now the time is 1:04. So we will start at 1:10. 1:10 we are going to start. 1:10 to 1:20, 10 minutes, and 1:20 to 1:30 we are going to share our experiences. After that, we'll end the session. Okay. So I hope that you're all ready with the objects of your interest. Are you? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now close your eyes. Inhale deeply and exhale. As usual, take deep breaths. Close your eyes and hold the object in your hand. Close the fist and then try to get the impressions. Whatever impression you're getting, just let it go on. Don't be judgmental about the information that you're getting. Let the information pass. What is important is the feelings and the associated visuals that you get when you're holding this object. Yeah, come back to your normal senses. Yeah, come back. So I would like to know if anybody has got some kind of unique experience during this session. Anybody would like to share your experience?
Sir, Antasar,
Yeah, please.
sir, I could like initially, as you said, initially I couldn't get anything,
Okay.
but later I got a goosebumps and my body started becoming warm,
Okay.
and all the thoughts towards my in-laws' place, temples, with what we want to visit, and it was running around all these places, like maybe
Okay.
his thoughts are of only maybe his things, like he was thinking of those things or something. I think I don't know,
Okay.
but those things were going around.
What was
And
the object you are holding? Whose object?
my son
Okay.
watch.
Okay. Your son's okay. Yeah, maybe he was having all these things as his predominant thoughts right now.
Okay.
Yeah, his grandparents, places where he wants to visit. Maybe you can check with him. You can ask him whether
Okay.
the impressions that you have got are right or wrong. You can just ask. Maybe at some level it will be there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, just check with him. It will help. Yeah.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for
Definitely.
sharing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. Anybody else, please?
Master
Yes, please.
Kaladevi.
Yeah, Kaladevi.
I was holding my daughter's cell phone, which she's using often.
Okay.
For a few minutes, I didn't get any feeling. Later, she's very jovial and she used to laugh most of the time.
Okay.
The same feeling I got. I also felt very joyous feeling while I'm holding that device.
Okay.
And I heard a visualization that she's wearing one sari and she was talking with her friend about her farewell.
Okay.
She's 12th now, about farewell.
Okay.
I thought like that. The thought came like that, and now I enquired her, "Did you speak about this?" And she told for 20 minutes before she was talking about the farewell with her friend.
Oh, that's great.
Uh,
So the information is so relevant.
yes.
And what about the sari?
Sari, they were talking about the sari, but she's wearing one sari. I visualize like that.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good. Nice, interesting revelation.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody else, please?
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Yeah, actually, I was holding my son's laptop. What happened? Suddenly, my left side head was intense pain, head pain,
Okay.
and disappeared
Okay. Okay.
because he was having online classes and all with his laptop.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Maybe you can check with him whether he had any kind of headaches like this, simple headaches.
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Anybody else, please?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I was holding my husband's ring, sir,
Okay.
in my right palm.
Okay.
And I didn't got any thoughts, but my heart chakra was vibrating very fast. And the ring was also vibrating. And full, that ring has become very hot. Full vibrating. Both are vibrating and my body was light and moving up.
What is the color of the ring?
It's a diamond ring, sir.
Diamond ring. Okay. 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 Okay.
That's what I got the feeling.
Yeah.
That's what, sir.
Yeah. Any other experience?
No, sir.
Okay.
Last day I got that, okay, you want to do, you just do it, practice it, no problem. Something like that I got, that's also.
Okay, okay, good, good. Yeah. Yeah, any other experience to be shared? Okay.
Master, during that time, my Agna Chakra had some blink in that area.
Okay. Yeah, so basically, I'm going to talk about this blinking of chakras tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, Master.
Yeah, I'll try to cover.
Okay, sir.
So these are very, very simple experiments. Did you find any difficulty in practicing these things?
No, Master.
No, sir.
Very easy to practice. Maybe you might not have got a vivid experience first attempt, but if you keep practicing, no, you'll gain these skills very easily. And after some time, it becomes a very spontaneous thing. You don't have to think, you just have to touch it and you'll get all the feelings. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed the practical session. So I wish you practice it on a daily basis so that you become proficient. Anything which is done continuously for 40 plus times becomes a habit. So my recommendation is try to practice these things continuously for 40 days and then see how much improvement you have made. Simple techniques, okay? So with this, I will close today's session. Thank you so much for taking part in this session. If you have any questions, queries, you can reach me in the WhatsApp chat. Okay, thank you so much. Have a nice time. Yes.
Thank you, Master.
Thank you.
Thank you,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.